Hello everyone. In this video we are going to learn meshing local mesh control part 2 in ANSYS Workbench. In the previous video we have learned about meshing global mesh control in ANSYS Workbench. So learning in the video is the number of methods are available for 3-dimensional bodies and 2-dimensional bodies to mesh. So in case of 3 dimension we have total 5 methods available in ANSYS Workbench to mesh the model. So here the first method is automatic method, then tetrahedral method, hex dominant, soup and multi-zone. So these are methods. These all our methods are corresponding to your 3-dimensional body method, right? And then there is a methods also available for 2-dimensional bodies. These are quadrilateral dominant, triangles, multi-zone, chord or triad. So let's begin with this method. To understand the methods and how to use this method, I have prepared this presentation. Then after this theoretical concept, we will see the demonstration in software itself. So first, it is about automatic method. So this automatic method, it is going to toggle between tetrahedral and swept meshing, depending upon whether the body is sweepable. You import any body, the body is get identified by using the software, and depending on the shape and the part component part available in the body, uh, it is divided into two parts, that is sweepable body and second is unsweepable body. If your body is sweepable, then in automatic method the meshing is done using sweep method, and if your body is unsweepable, in this case tetrahedral mesh confirming method is used. So here the example is given. So here is a two component. The first one is sweepable. It is a pipe. So sweepable means the geometry. It has a pair of identical faces or topological faces at the two ends, and mesh is going to create at the one face, and it is swept to the other end. This is known as sweepable body. So this is a pipe, and soup meshing is carried out on this pipe. Second is another part, it is unsweepable, and the patch confirming mesh is carried out on this part. So before starting tetrahedral meshing method, let's see the demonstration in the software itself. So here I have imported one of the geometry, and here I'm going to delete this first. Then if you want to insert the mesh method, then click on the mesh, right click and insert and method. So here it is asking for geometry in the details of automatic method. So click on this geometry. It is asking for apply and cancel. So select this body and apply. So there is a couple of things in definition group. The first is method. In method there is a number of method listed. This is the automatic, tetrahedron, hex dominant, sweep, multi-zone and Cartesian. So here we have to choose automatic, and there is another local setting is element order. So in element order there is a three options like use global setting, then linear and quadratic. Linear means it is a single order element type. For quadratic it is a second order element type. Here we have selected automatic method, and let's generate the mesh. So here uh, before starting the mesh, software try to identify the sweepable bodies, but it is not available as per the software inputs. So it has created patch confirming mesh, right? So this body can be a sweepable body if we decompose the body into number of parts. It can be a sweepable body. So likewise, we can generate automatic method here, right? So this is all about automatic method, and all the global settings of this automatic method is given in mesh details window. So here we can change element size as it is given 10 mm. So we can on and off these mesh defeaturing option. Then we can change defeaturing size as it is default. Then there is a setting like transition. So transition between the surfaces or the edges is a fast as default setting. Then swap angle center. So when there is a curvature and the edges on this curvature is mesh using the coarse mesh, right? So these are the global mesh controls. It is tetrahedron mesh method. So this method generate tetrahedral elements, and there are two algorithms are available under this tetrahedron meshing method. The first is patch confirming and second is patch independent. So here you can you see the example of this patch confirming and patch independent. There is a section plane, and this section plane indicate the unstructured mesh inside the core of this geometry, and here you can see the structured mesh inside the geometry. So this is the difference between these two mesh methods. So let's begin with the first method, that is patch confirming. So this is a bottom-up approach. It means that meshing process start from edges, then faces, and then one. In the algorithm, the application of software is going to start with your edges. So edges will get mesh first, then faces, then volume. Therefore, all the meshes, face, and their boundaries are considered and then meshed. But for this patch confirming method, we require a very clean geometry, because if there is any D features or any edges or duplicate faces available, then your mesh will be messy or dirty. Here, very few of local mesh control is given under this uh, patch conforming method. It is only a element mid-side mesh, so it is compatible with inflation. So it is explained in the previous video of mine. When you want to capture the boundaries of the geometry, then you can use inflation. It creates a layer adjacent to the boundary. Then you can access this method from this algorithm selection box. So here there is a two options is given, that is patch conforming and JAG. Second is patch independent. So next is patch independent. This is a top-down approach. We start meshing, then volume mesh generated first, and then all the meshes generated in the core is projected on the faces and then edges. So faces, edges, and vertices are not necessarily conformed to. So here, if there is a features, it is ignored by using this patch independent method. So for this method, if your geometry is not clean, then it can be acceptable, right? Again, to access this patch independent, we have to click on this algorithm control box and then select patch independent, right? So this is the example of a comparison between the patch confirming and patch independent. So this is geometry is given and number of features are available on this geometry, you can see here. And this geometry is mesh by using patch confirming, and here all geometry details are captured when use patch confirming method. So you can see the very fine meshing across these features. And when you mesh the given geometry by using this patch independent, then this patch independent ignores the features and mesh the model very uniformly. Now this is the application of this patch independent and patch confirming method. When you have surface body which is very clean and without any features like short edges or duplicate faces, then you can use the patch confirming method. And when your body is very complex and it has a number of features like fillet, then chamfer, then edges, so in this case we can use patch independent, right? So before moving to hex dominant meshing control, we can see these two, patch conforming and patch independent method in software itself. For this I have imported one of the geometry. So this is geometry I have imported in a mechanical window, and to create, delete this already created patch independent method and insert method here, then select geometry for this method, then change method type here from automatic to tetrahedron, and here is the algorithm. So from this algorithm you can choose or you can select any of these two options, that is patch confirming and patch independent. When you select patch confirming, then there is another one control, that is element order. So here there is the same element order is given like linear and quadratic, that is a single order element and a second order element, right? So here you mesh the model using this patch confirming method. So here you can see the mesh generated by using this patch confirming method, and I'm going to zoom it. So here is the surface very small, and because of this complicated geometry, the mesh that is created is very poor. So first we have to clean the geometry for this patch conforming method. Then we are going to move to second method, that is patch independent. So here it is asking for minimum size limit. So let's I'm giving this 10, and let's mesh the model again. So when we select patch independent, then it will remove or omit the features that are available on geometry and generate uniform mesh. And it will going to start a mesh from the core. That is, it will first generate volume mesh, then it will create edge element and then face element. So here you can see the mesh is far better than this patch independent patch conforming method. And if you change this patch independent local controls, then you can find more uniform mesh. Suppose here is a if I change this mesh base featuring defeaturing feature to yes on, and it is asking for defeature size, let's take 3 mm, then let's see the difference. So let's see the mesh by using this patch independent method. So here we have changed many local controls inputs, and here I change the input to yes, that is mesh based defeaturing, and the defeature size is 3 mm. So whatever the feature size which is less than this 3 mm are going to ignore by this method, and mesh is done according to it. So this is patch independent and patch conforming method. So it is very important to understand these two algorithm when to use tetrahedron method. So next, move to the hex dominant. So hex dominant method generally create hex dominant mesh, and it is combination of tetra and pyramid cells with a majority of cell being of hex type. And this is useful when our geometry does not have any sweep body, or when your geometry is not sweepable. Then it has some local controls like element order. This element order determines the order of element like linear or quadratic. And then it has another local control, free face mesh type. So when we start meshing, then we require face first, and that meshing will start from that face. So this is free face means the face is of unmappable or unstructured face, and for that we have two options like chord or tria or all chord. When you select this option all chord, then your algorithm or software or application try to generate all chord element on the face, and then these element are extrude to get your volume element. So before moving this sweep meshing method, let's see the demonstration of this hex meshing in a software. So this is meshing by using the automatic method. To change the automatic method to the hex dominant here, and see the difference and generate the mesh. So here this mesh is generated by using this hex dominant method, and you can see the local control under this hex dominant like element order, linear, quadratic. Then free face mesh type is two options like chord, tria or all chord. So when software try to use this hex dominant method, then it will try to generate all chord element first, and then if there is a transition of number of faces are available, then in this case you can use the tria element for transition. So this is depend on the surfaces present on the geometry. So this is two local control under this hex dominant. So next is sweep meshing method. So we already know what is meant by sweepable body. So for this method we require sweepable body. So this is an example of sweepable body. So we have target face and we have source face. These two faces are identical, topological identical. Surface mesh will generate on this target face, then it is extrude to the source face. So in this way, the sweep method is performed. So here, so we require target face and source face, and body must have topological identical faces on two ends. So it generate hex or wedge element. When you use sweep meshing method, then it will generate hex or wedge element. Then side faces must be mappable, right? These two faces must be mappable. That means structured faces. We require structured faces. It does not consider any free faces, right? So we have another alternative theme option. So what is meant by this theme option? We will learn by using software itself. So next is number of possibility, number of ways to select this target or source face. So here automatic means the software itself find the pair of source and target face, and there is another option like manual source and manual source and target, right? So we can select the source manually and software select the target face itself. Next option is manual source and target, so we can select both the faces, that is source and target face, manually. And there is the next option is automatic thin and manual thin. So when we have number of or multiple pair of these source and target faces, then in that case we have to use that automatic thin or manual thin. So here local mesh control is given, that is source and target selection. In this case we can select as per our convenience. If you know the manual, if you know manually where is the source and target face, so you can use this setting. And this is the example of your sweep direction, like the arrow indicating the sweep direction. This is the source face and this is your target face. Next is when we have rotational sweeping. So sweep mesh can also be created by sweeping a source around an axis. If you have a body like this and it is a axis symmetry, that is rotational about the axis, then you can mesh this type of geometry by using this sweep meshing method. So right, so here red color indicate that the source face and green color indicate that the target face. So this example can be seen by using this mechanical window. So here I'm going to delete this mesh method. So let's consider this body. This is a rotational body, we can say, and in this case this is kind of sweepable body. So if you want to see the sweepable body in the this graphic window, so for it click on this mesh field, right click on this mesh field, then show, and click on this sweepable body. So here it is not does not find the sweepable body, because this Ansible Workbench does not able to find this rotational bodies here. So here let's insert method, and so here it is asking for geometry. So this geometry and apply. So next change the method as sweep method, and here you can find number of local controls. So source and target selection, so it is automatical. Instead of this I am going to select manual source and target. So for source, click on the source and create this face, apply, then it will change the color green to red. Then similarly select the target face, so click on this another face and apply. So in this way we have selected the source face and target face. And there is another number of local mesh controls available, like a free face mesh type. That means again the face which are unmappable, that can be meshed by using chord or tria, or all chord or all tria element types, right? So next is types, number of divisions. When you use this option, there is two options available with this type: element size and number of divisions. When you choose number of division, then if there is a edges on the surfaces, then this edge can be divided into number of elements. So this division is default here, and you choose number of element size instead of number of division, then you have to give the size, element size input. So likewise you can change number of parameter given here, and let's measure the given model. So here you can find X or which type of elements are created by using this sweep method. So this is all about sweep method. So next is multi-zone. So here in multi-zone meshing method, the software is able to decompose the given body into number of zones. So first body recognize the type of geometry it is, and it is possible to decompose into a possible geometry or a component that can be a sweepable. So this is your multi-zone mesh method. So multi-zone mesh method, which is a patch independent meshing technique, provides automatic decomposition of the geometry into mapped, that is sweepable region and free regions, and all regions are meshed with a pure hexagonal mesh if possible. So if it is try to generate all hexagonal type of mesh, then to handle case in which pure hex will not be possible, you can adjust your settings so that a swept mesh will be generated in structured region and free mesh will be generated in unstructured region. So to handle this case, we have to make some changes in the settings, and with this setting we can generate structured mesh on mappable faces regions and unstructured mesh on unmappable regions. So can select source and target face automatically or manually. So this is the example of multi-zone meshing method. So here 4 cylinder type of component are suitable. So by using this multi-zone mesh method, it will try to decompose this 4 cylinder from this base body. So in this way, it will select your source face and target face and mesh the model accordingly. So for this, there are some local mesh controls are given in multi-zone meshing control list in the details of this multi-zone meshing method. So let's understand these local mesh controls one by one. The first is map mesh type. So in this type, we are going to determine the shape of the element used to fill structured regions. So default setting is hexa. So hexa means all hexaedral elements are generated. Then another options are hex and prism. So for swept region, the surface mesh can allow triangles to for generate or for transition. So when there is surface and we want to transition between the surfaces, then we can use these triangles. Then the triangle is extrude to get prisms, right? And the next third option is prism. In prism option, all prism element are generated. Next is surface mesh method. Specify method to create the surface mesh. So in this program control automatically uses combination of uniform and pave mesh control methods depending on the mesh size, set and face property. There is a two control available under this surface mesh control. The first one is uniform and second is pave. So in uniform mesh, it uses a recursive loop splitting method which create highly uniform mesh. So it uses recursive loop splitting method to create uniform mesh. And second option is pave. So create a good quality mesh on faces with a high curvature and also when neighboring edge have a high aspect ratio. So this pave option is going to create a good quality mesh on face with curvature and edges having the aspect ratio. So this is the example of this multi-zone meshing method. So this is a single body automatically decomposed into 3 blocks, right? The source and target face are selected automatically and result in all hex. So this meshing method generate hex element. So equivalent to automatically decomposing by slicing of upper and lower cylinder to produce 3 bodies and applying sweep method. So instead of decomposing the given body into 3 bodies and then apply the sweep method, we can use directly multi-zone meshing method. So it automatically decomposes given geometry into sweepable body and mesh the body into hex element. So here before move to the 2D mesh, so let's understand the multi-zone method here. So here you can see the same geometry I have created here, and there are 3 components available, right? So instead of slicing this 2 cylinder from this base body and create a separate 3 component, I am going to use this multi-zone method, and by using this method one can use this technique very efficiently, right? So by using this multi-zone method, software automatically decompose this method this geometry into the 3 mappable geometry and generate the mesh accordingly. So these are the local mesh control like map mesh type, and second is surface mesh method. So here the options are hex, hexaprism or prism are available with map mesh type. Then with surface mesh method we have 2 options like uniform and pave. So depending on the curvature on the surfaces, we are going to use this the surface mesh method. So next is 2D meshing. So for this 2D meshing, 2D body meshing, we have 3 methods available with this Ansible mesh. First is quadrilateral dominant. It is going to create all chord element. Then triangle. This is the second method. It will be going to create all tie element. and third is multi-zone chord tri element. So here it is a combination of chord and tri element. So these three meshing methods are used in ANSYS Workbench for 2D bodies. So this is a model I have created in the ANSYS Workbench, and so here you can see I have generated the mesh by using these three methods. So this quadrilateral dominant mesh, and this is for by using the triangles, and this is by using the multi-zone chord element. So here this is the only all chord element, this is there only all tri element, and here is a combination of this chord and tri element. For this quadrilateral element we should have uniform geometry with us, and if there is a features available on the geometry, then we have to clean the geometry first, then we can use this quadrilateral element or quadrilateral dominant method. So you can see this 2D meshing in the software itself. So for this, so here you can select quadrilateral dominant, or you can select triangles, and you can select multi-zone quad triangle. So this is only methods available for two-dimensional geometry. So for quadrilateral dominant, we have two local mesh controls like element order, linear or quadratic, and second is free phase mesh type. Here all chord or chord or tria. These two options are available with quadrilateral dominant. Next, when you select these triangles method, then here we have only one local mesh control, that is element order. And when we choose this multi-zone chord or tria, then we have number of local settings with this multi-zone chord or tria method. So here we can again the surface mesh method. Here we can find uniform pave like multi-zone method in 3D meshing, and element order again same, linear and quadratic, and free mesh mesh type like all tria, chord tria, or all quadratic. So when you choose all chord type of free mesh face mesh, then software trying to generate all the chord element on the surfaces. But sometimes it is not possible to generate all chord element because there is a features or there is a transition of faces or surfaces available on the geometry. So to create the mesh, we have software will create some tri element with this. So